Alright guys, let's see. Welcome to the live stream. I'm hoping you guys can hear me. If you can, give me a shout out in the comments. I'm seeing right now Bo, Momus, Don. Alright guys, let's see. Just did a little sound check on my own device. But gonna be bringing you a little bit of a new live stream. Been a little bit since we've done this. Kind of getting myself rusty here. But I've got a few things I want to run through. I know Bo being here, it'll be nice to kind of get some comments from you guys as you've actually been playing some of this update. I just want to bring a little bit of a snapshot of what the devs shared through that Lands Awakening video. Going to do a quick little video breakdown and then just kind of run through some other stuff, what's going on in the game, just do a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of everything. It's been a while since I did some grinding. I think it's been about, I don't know, 6-8 hours. That's a little too long for me. But what I want to switch over and bring to here is I'm going to bring in a bit of the overall what the devs shared through their Lands Awakening videos I mentioned. So let's kind of set things up. And take a look at what this video has to offer us here. Well, it looks like the video wasn't quite working there. Just going to go and ad hoc this. That's okay. I pulled some snapshots in the video anyways. Want to play it. Maybe I'll tap it into a video that I edit out a little bit later. This is what happens when you're working on the road, trying to do a live stream with Canadian Wi-Fi. But pulling this over, pull up some of these snapshots that we've kind of seen throughout this video. If you haven't seen it, of course, you can go to the Dawn of Titans, their YouTube page. You can watch the whole thing. It's about a minute and a half of their Lands Awakening. Bo, if you guys haven't been there, check out Bo, Zalon, DBR. They all put out some really good videos because they've had some great early access to it. So, of course, I'll give a shout out to them because they've pushed it to us all. They've really given us a good inside look. So, thanks for that, guys. I'm going to just offer a little bit more for those people that might be watching my channel, get an opportunity to see a little bit of this breakdown too. Going to try to keep it pretty quick and sweet, but we got time, so we'll see what goes on. One of these first areas, just going to bring up, looking at this overall new lands, we're seeing some new art designs for this. We're seeing lands that have kind of been redesigned from this glowing energy to it, showing us the feed and what's really happening there. Giving an opportunity to kind of see some different changes. What's up, Lewis? Thanks for joining. And with it, we've got this, glow, and I kind of think it's kind of neat what they've added to it. Any farms that are generating food, you've got this green glow. Lakes are offering this blue. Same thing with the forests, and I'm assuming mountains will do the same thing. I didn't pay a lot of attention to it, but we're seeing this kind of blue glow for VP. We're seeing this yellow glow for the gold. And now in this teaser video they put out there, we're still seeing a lot of these ruins. But as you'll see kind of through this new process they have, I think this will be their way of eliminating any remaining ruin lands. A lot of people have been waiting for Ascension to come back around. I don't think it's going to be happening anytime in the near future based on something else that just dropped today but also got taken away. So looking at it, just some art designs to it. I've also noticed that as the video, when they go through and kind of capture some of the lands, the neutral lands, you you have this opportunity to kind of see how it like gets constructed when it gets ready to start building. Lewis, you're saying that they upgraded the art on the shards as well. I didn't notice that myself, but I know that since these here are going to be, what's up, Omega? That these here are going to be kind of like dropping out once they've been depleted. I wonder if you're still going to get like a shard from this until the shards are gone. Bo, I don't know if you happen to actually have any shard lands and got an opportunity to see like what they offer, what would deplete them. They didn't put it in the teaser video, so I'm waiting to see that. But I think it's an opportunity to remove it. I know months ago I got a message from the devs when I asked them about shards that they said they're actively removing these lands from the game, and I'm assuming that this might be that process of doing so. So we'll see. I know they just did no shard lands in the test build. Thanks, Bo, for that. Just kind of see what happens with it, I guess. So this will cycle out. I know one thing that's really cool is you'll kind of see, we kind of break this down, that these lands eventually kind of go away. So working with it, it's a whole new design of how you can use lands, how you get the resources from it, some perspective on it, screenshots. Let's just go ahead and get into some of this new stuff. So just, another cool close-up art with what the shards have to offer. This glow, that as these resources are being generated, the glow starts to flow up. If they're not glowing, then it looks like you're not actually generating resources to it. Now, this is important because you will not actually earn any resources, food, gold, VP from this, from what I'm understanding from their video, what I've seen from Bo, Zalan, DBR, until you actually defend those lands. So if you're not defending it, you're not earning it. And through some of the screenshots, they show that you have the ability to capture lands that are not defended, but you cannot raid any of those lands that are not defended. We'll see what happens with that as we continue. Now, granted, there's a lot that could always change between when they tease us with something and show us something. Tweaks that can happen here and there. But in order to, this one here being a lake that they showed in the video, in order to generate any VP that you can earn, you actually have to defend it, which is a change to what a lot of people have done by pumping all their Titans into one max attack, one major defending one, but then they still hoard all of these either low level or high level lands, and they just leave them undefended because they're still collecting from it. Now they can't do that. You can't really stack lands and generate anything from them unless you have some kind of defense put on there to start getting that moving. So a few other things, we just kind of see that as you go through it. The way in which you actually generate and watch that video, if you do the breakdown, they show how you can actually change and increase how quickly you earn these resources. Now, I think there's a little strategy that you can do with this. Looking at it, the lower the troops or the less troops, the lower the Titan, then the slower these resources are generated per hour, whether it be VP, whether it be gold, food. And what we also learned from that video, sorry I couldn't play for it, kind of sucks, I'd love to get all that kind of segue into it, but the stronger that you generate it, the faster you collect these resources, and the more that you can drain this land, which has some perks to it. But anything that you generate but don't collect quick enough, enemies can come in, and when they raid those lands, that's what they collect. They, instead of taking from your lands, from your main source of what you've been collecting resources, they only take what has been generated by the land, but you yourself have not collected and added to your pool of resources. The only way that an enemy can go ahead and take resources from your pool of resources that you've collected for your castle is if they raid your garrison. And when they raid the garrison, it's going to still play off of your reserves that protect the food, protect the gold, and they can only take that difference of what's still not protected by your reserves. So, of course, the more that you level that up, the better that's going to be. What's up, Despero? What's up going on? So working with it, it really kind of changes the approach. And, if you know that you might not be collecting resources very often from your lands, you might wait for them to, build up, or you might only play in the morning, later in the day, you're not jumping on periodically. You might want to actually consider putting a lower level Titan and lower level troops or fewer troops on your land, so that way the food doesn't offer a lot up to your enemies for them to raid and take away from your land when you're out. So I know for me, one strategy I'm considering going with this is right before I leave the game, when I'm done with my raids, doing my stuff, I'm actually going to lower the number of troops that I have on there and maybe put on a lower level Titan. That way, while I'm gone, it's still generating some of the resources, and I can collect that when I get back. But I also don't want it to generate so much that maybe an enemy is coming in and taking away. I personally probably will not completely undefend the land, because that might be one approach is, hey, you know what, if you don't defend the land, someone has no purpose in raiding it. But if it's a really good land, it's got a lot of resources to offer, maybe they can capture it and I've lost that opportunity, and then I've got to capture all over again. They've changed that. It's only about one portal stone to capture from your neutral land, so it's really not that big of a deal. But if you're starting to collect some of these bigger lands, that might be a way that, you know, someone can collect it, still get all that land. It really changes the dynamic of how we use lands. So I'm considering that when I'm gone, still letting it build up a little bit so I have something to collect when I get back, but keeping my Titans and my troops in less quantities, lower levels while I'm out of the game. When I get in the game, and I'm going to be on there for a little while, I usually spend maybe 2 hours or so at a time on the game, and I pop in periodically throughout the day, that I'll probably put a higher level Titan on there, more troops, higher level troops, and let it generate pretty quickly, so that way I can start collecting more of those resources while I'm actually in the game. So very strategies to kind of consider when we go in and change this whole dynamic. What we're also looking at is just overall, when someone goes in, that they can see what they're going to collect when they loot. Just like when we go in and take from enemies now, it now shows us what's actually lootable. So this one here, we've got food. It shows us that there's an available quantity. Once that availability is depleted down to 0, that land is gone, which actually offers some perks for why you might want to get that food, that gold, that VP drained from this land pretty quickly. Shows you what it is per hour, but then for you, who might be raiding one of these lands, pretty good chunks of food still. You're still getting 35,000, 40,000, but we've even seen through the video that they're pulling in almost 30,000 VP from a land. So when you've got these VP lands and they're generating VP, if you're not collecting it, you're just sitting on it, that gives me the opportunity to come and take it away from you. It's not going to take it away from what you've already earned and what you've collected, but it can prevent you from using lands to just stockpile VP if you're only collecting it once a day. So kind of different dynamic in how people might use those lands, collect their VP, so on and so on. But a lot doesn't change from what you can learn from these or get from these lands. It's a matter that they're limited. You got to stock them. You got to drain them, because when you do drain them and we see that they become depleted, that land will eventually disappear. And what I liked quickly in the video kind of showed, so I just screenshotted that as well, that you get this bonus VP from draining these lands. So whether it's food, whether it's gold, whether it's VP, it looks like when that land is gone, I'm assuming this will probably vary on the level, that you get this extra perk to the VP. So now the advantage to actually having lands for people that have gone landless for so long is that if I collect lands, I drain them, I can start adding VP to my score that someone who's going landless doesn't have the advantage to. I think that's kind of nice. Portal stones from VP lands. Yep. So getting into that, Bo, I know once that land is depleted, that it looks like from what you showed and what you see in the videos that you get about 10 portal stones as well on top of this bonus VP. So for someone who has lands, now it gives you even more opportunities to go collect more, go raid more. I think that's pretty cool. So that's yet again another perk to why you might actually want to go with the lands and maybe not go landless anymore. Now, we'll see. It's a lot to still be determined when we get in and play with it, but definitely an opportunity to kind of change that whole meta of how people play and that overall approach to going landless, keeping lands. Are you keeping farms? Are you keeping VP lands? The more VP lands that you have, the more risk it has for me to take that VP from you rather than you being able to collect it. Definitely a different strategy there for those people that like to stock up on those. Same thing here, just going to pull up another screenshot. So from that bonus VP that you can earn, the portal stones, and Bo, I don't know, maybe you can share, did you notice anything different from those 10 portal stones? Was it ever different than 10 portal stones when those lands were depleted? So here's just another shot. This is a VP land. You can see that there's 375 available. This looks like it's pretty drained already. Bo says always 10, so thanks for chiming in there, brother. But here we've got XP for the player, for the Titan. We're looking at a food reward that you can get from here. Rating that land, still offering some kind of a reward there for maybe unprotected resources or things. And then the VP, I basically have the opportunity to completely drain and eliminate this. What could be, and again, not having played with this yet, one thing that might be interesting is if this is almost drained, if I go in and I actually capture this land, having so little resources available, and then I drain out the rest of it, I'm assuming this gives me the opportunity to actually get the bonus VP from it rather than just collecting this 374. I could get that from capturing it. I can get bonus VP when it's deleted. Plus, when that is depleted, I'll get the bonus portal stones. So, the perk of looking at why would I ever want to capture an enemy land if it costs me one portal stone to capture a neutral? I could drain this VP and it's useless. But if I go in and I actually capture it, this will eliminate it. There's a lot more that I can get. Yeah, I might spend 6 portal stones to drain it, but I'll get 10. So I'll replace the 6 I lost. I'll get an extra 4. And now I can extend my raiding time. See you later, Momus. Hopefully I'll catch you maybe later on a stream of yours that you said you were going to be doing, but thanks for popping in for a bit. So Bo, you're saying you're not sure if you get that bonus. I think that'll be interesting. That would be something that certainly would make me want to capture these lands that are pretty close to being depleted. I might not be able to earn a lot from it, but if I could turn my 6 stones into 10, I can collect this 300 VP plus maybe a bonus. It gives me an opportunity to maybe go and keep doing that a couple of times and actually turn out more positive with that VP than just collecting one and just burning through the resources. So it'll be an interesting balance just to see where we go with it and what happens. But once it goes live, we will see. So what else have we got? Looking at this, they showed in this video, it was interesting because I don't think it was one continuous series of raids that they were showing us. They shared a whole kind of different snapshots. They went into this one land where they were raiding it. The VP reward didn't look that good, but then the end of battle reward, they showed us this massive winning that they can get, which was 27,000 VP from this land. So I'm assuming that it is not correlated to the land that they raided in the video. But overall, looking at this, we now know that if we go in and that if that VP land is just building and building and building while you're not collecting it, I could come in and completely take all of that VP from you. So this really changed the dynamic of, who might hold those top positions in ranks when we're looking at these seasonal or global leaders based on who leaves VP open to collect. So again, really interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that kind of changes and how this all ties into what kind of dynamic from raids and captures and what we can do. Overall in that, I know some other things that they've showed us that just change a little bit about these lands. Kind of throw up this last one here is, again, I mentioned it earlier, that undefended lands you cannot raid, but looking at it, you get an opportunity to go in and actually capture them. So I now have the opportunity to take advantage of this person was not collecting any of their VP. So I have 250,000 available that if I take it and I start defending, I can build it up and it'll be mine. But again, that depends on the capture. Other things we've seen some changes is between garrisons, between lands, the new dynamic of how they're showing titans versus troops, spells that are on defense, number of troops that are on defense. I noticed, Bo, DBR, kind of during your videos, you guys all noticed that how many troops were actually displayed and how many showed up in battle kind of varied a bit. Assuming that's probably a bit buggy. So we'll see more about how that maybe kind of changes it up a bit when we actually see that go live. But I'll tell you, this is one update I'm really kind of interested in seeing how it goes. I think it really poses some really new game change, really changes what we're all about. People that are used to just collecting these massive lands and then just sitting on them, they're pumping 400,000 defense into a level 25 VP land. Once that's gone, they've got to replace it again. Now, granted, they can keep flipping these, 1-star neutral lands, but there's so many small level castles that were capturing big lands that I think that dynamic is going to change a little bit. Even the 3 under strategy, which is so popular, it's depending on what your castle level is. That means you've got to go and try to collect these smaller lands to maintain them at 3 under, because your pool of neutral lands is going to be always quite a bit closer to your castle level. So it may become actually more difficult to keep that 3 under strategy, which was nice unless you were on the opposite end and trying to raid it. So I think it really just changes our overall approach of what we do with raids, garrisons, lands, how we keep them. They might. I'm thinking they're going to become more popular to keep based on the resource you might need. Just cycling them out and burning through a ton of gold when you need it, burn through a ton of VP when you need it, because they're basically disposable right now. So it's different. It's all these things we've started to get comfortable with. Zalon's strategy was awesome with the 3 under when you didn't want to lose that stuff, but now you're not losing it from what you yourself have collected it. You're only losing it if you didn't collect it from your land. So that whole dynamic of losing VP, protecting your VP, it's really different. I think certainly change what we kind of see there. It'll be interesting to see what our attack list looks like once this event goes live. Some other things I just want to pull up. We're talking update. We know it's coming soon from what we hear. So I want to go ahead and just kind of pull up a little bit of what we see and kind of talk our way through what these updates offer. We've seen this and now in Band. I've seen it on the line chats. But I want to kind of walk through each one of these updates, get an opportunity to kind of just talk through it and see what we've got going on. But, you can pull this up from game support. It's nothing that's out there that's hidden. Let's see what's up, iTouch. Catching up on your comments here. Yeah, true. All of these piggies have some new designs. Flamehide looks pretty BA. I'm a little disappointed. I've got my little poison piggy, Venom Tusk, and I'm not all that thrilled about what his new design looks like. I think he's kind of lost a bit of his glow, quite literally. I have not seen Snowgore and what his new design kind of looks like. I might be out there, but I haven't seen it yet. Flamehide looks pretty awesome, though. What's up, Infinity On? Thanks for joining in. I wish all you guys that were here, man, I wish I could have joined that live stream the other day. It would have been a blast. So next time around. But let's take a look at this Lands Awakening, because there's a lot more to it than just lands of what we've got going on. So they're saying, they've listened to the community feedback. They're looking at things that they're going on. They're trying to create a really good balance between, I think, the beta, people that have already been around, and as many people now are calling some the engineers. And then we've got all new players that are coming in as well. But there's a nice little mix of players in there that have not been engineering. They've been going at it, so I think it offers some really unique balance for just about everybody. People that have been a bit OP'd, engineers, brand new players, existing ones. Is interesting. Yeah, I saw Despero. That live stream was 100+ people. Pretty impressive. And nice work on that, Bo. But talking about live streams, I got something else we got to talk about near the end of this. Of course, with some of the sad news that's been going around all over now, and I just got hip to it just the other day. A couple minutes ago. But taking a look at this Lands Awaken, what do we have going on with this update and things that are happening here? We see the overall Lands Awaken, right? Lands, food, gold, and VP generation rates on lands. They say they've been greatly increased. Again, we saw one of those rewards is 27,000 VP that was available to raid and capture. Pretty cool. Plus, rather than upgrading a land to generate the food at higher levels or generate the gold or the VP at higher levels, you no longer will upgrade your lands. And it's all based on what you stack to it. Yeah, Bo, I could bet APOC was a little jelly, but hey, I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Working with it, basically the strength you put on there. Now, here's what's nice is it's pretty much just based on level from what I've seen, especially Bo from your video. I didn't notice that it changed whether or not it was what used to be pikes, but now we know will be Imperials. Whether it was a Goliath, whether it was an Unak, whether it was a Spearman or Militia, it looked like it was pretty much based on level. And if that's the case, then I can take some Militia at level 14, and they could help increase whatever that resource is, the same as a level 14 Goliath. So if you're looking to kind of burn through those resources pretty quick, this is a great opportunity to maybe use that militia if what I just said is correct. Bo, maybe you can drop a comment and let me know if I'm right on with it. But using these troops just as high levels to generate this stuff faster while you're in game, and not have to take Ragnars you might have and keep them on the lands. It's maybe a different way to use your troops as well. And working with it, just again another different approach for people. I think there's people out there that are still say like, hey, their militia are still level 3, but they're a level 14 or 15. So Bo, you're saying based on strength, higher level is better. Does that mean that a level 14 Goliath offers a higher increase than a level 14 militia? Is it based on their stats or just that level? If that's the case, I could see myself throwing just a whole bunch of these militia that I get and just dumping them on some lands when I need to just go ahead and use it, and all my Unax and my Goliaths will be available for raids. So, just something to consider. We'll see. Lands have a finite amount of resources. Again, as we just talked about this, we now know that once they're depleted, they're gone. But the benefit of actually having lands now and getting them depleted is a plus because you get portal stones and you get some VP bonuses. So very nice to see that. All right, so you're saying test build Goliaths were better than Militia. Okay, so that's fair. Makes kind of sense, of course. Stronger defenses can help to it. Thoughts on now whether to get 3 stars to level 50 or stick to 4-star. That's interesting. I'll pull up some more about the new quote unquote really not ascension, but that power play that they're doing with it, that they're changing the stars to levels for Titans. That a 3-star can now actually be pushed up to from 40 to 50, and a 4-star now goes from 50 to 60. So honestly, I know a lot of people are saying Zalon in his theories loves it. He thinks that they're kind of maybe progressively leading towards some type of ascension. I think with the fact that lands deplete, and that means those shard lands are going to be gone, those ruins, I don't know if we're going to see ascension again anytime soon. I think it really could be a very long time before we see it, quite honestly. I think the fact that they changed from 3 stars can go to 50, 4 stars can go to 60, I think it's still basically there. I think what they basically offered, though, is that the 4 stars, when you get them up to level 60, you've got the opportunity to actually add another skill slot or relic slot onto them. So I think the advantage is still in those 4 stars, but the fact that those 3 stars now have the ability to even level up a bit higher, they become more valuable. So it's not. I think it's a game that's not only about 4 stars right now, especially since we've seen they've made some changes to skills. I agree. I think that Ascensions is gone. They basically pushed us up there. That's what I'm thinking as well. But let's look at some more of this. Land level spawn at your castle. So we talked about that. Going to your neutral pool or trying to find low level lands. You can't collect them from anywhere else other than maybe take them from a lower player. So that's really kind of nothing different. When we're looking at land raids, again, we've already talked about this, but here you can see it in the stats. Land raids no longer steal from the defender's reserves. That's only for the lands. If you attack the garrison, though, you will still take from anything that's not protected by those reserves. So do keep that in mind. This is strictly about lands, that you're not losing anything in reserves. Garrisons still kind of operate the same way. The bravery penalty VP is removed. We know this has been a big issue because a level 10 can attack a level 25 castle. They can win miraculously somehow. Let's just call it Engineer Titans. Just going to put that out there. But working with it, that level 25 couldn't hit that 10 because it wasn't worth it. Especially if it was during a soul event or something like that, you were, penalized. You just wouldn't get perks to that. So I wonder if this same bravery penalty will change when we get to those soul event, because we all know that if you attack a level or a yellow land during a soul event, it would decrease the number of souls that you can get from it. So I'd like to see that first soul event that comes out with this, if that changes that as well. However, you can see, of course, VP represents power. Having higher level lands will always mean a greater advantage towards that. Oh yeah, this one's coming up too. Bo, I see that. Definitely looking to see what goes on there. So auto loadout for attack and defense. This I'm looking forward to seeing. I don't know if I'll even remember to use it. It'll probably take me a while to get in the habit of doing this. But also, I wonder if not just a thought. We've been asking for this everybody, Bo, I agree. Karn is awesome. He's my dude. I'm excited to push him up to level 50, and maybe we'll work on that if it's back live again because they took away that power play. So, but here's where I'm thinking about the auto load for attack. A lot of people are asking for Infinity. I know you've been saying it's all about speed, being able to get those troops loaded. I like that approach. I think it's pretty cool. The automatic loadout, though, will you always use it? When attacking or defending, right, your setup will automatically populate for you, get you into the battle faster. But, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at the line below this. Garrison defenses will now be hidden, which means that we won't know the types of troops and spells when you look at the garrison. You're not going to know until you actually get in for that attack, which means the next time you go in, if that auto loadout shows up, are we actually going to have to spend time undoing our troops to stack new ones based on what we just saw in that attack if you're going to attack again? Plus, if I know I've just been attacked a couple of times, if I'm in the game, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to my garrison. I'm going to go ahead and change my Titan, change my troops. So whatever you actually just, well, the Titan still shows, but if I'm going to change my troops, I'm going to change my spells, then that's going to make you, whatever you just auto-loaded, thinking, oh, I can just do that, I can change it, well, it's going to make you change it again. I know personally, I'm probably going to spend time swapping out my troops and my spells on the regular, so whoever got used to hitting me, because I still lose enough on my garrison. I do not have an OP Titan. I do not have anything really kind of maxed out and perfect buffs. I take what I get, so I'm lose sometimes, I win sometimes. It is what it is. But now anyone that does attack me, hey, the next time you attack me, it might be different. So whatever you thought it was, it really changes dynamic. It's not. I don't think it's just autoplay anymore. I think you really got to think about it. That hey, last time I raided that person, what did they have? Maybe I'll attack. Maybe it might be the same. Maybe it won't. I think it really kind of has to make us think a bit more strategic. But yet again, coming back to this, the auto loadout, I feel like that actually might be a pain in the ass because if that defense changes and I've got this auto loadout, well, now I might have to change it. Again, auto loadout, I'm just going to put this out there. Take it, leave it. It's not hate, it's not shade, but let's just be honest. People with these engineered Titans, that this will work for those people that are always throwing in nothing but 17 archers, or they're going in with an Italis and they're throwing in all 10 of their pikes because that's all boosted. So the auto loadout works for them if they're rolling in with that engineered attack. But especially for the people that are new, that won't be doing this kind of OP play, this auto loadout I think actually could be a really big pain. I'm just going to be honest. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be a fan of that personally. Shield times are rebalanced. So we've seen some changes in shields. Let's just kind of keep this show rolling. The land auto shields after raids have increased to 2 hours, again, rather than just 1 hour. And castle shields have been decreased to 6 hours. So this way, it's, again, active building. It's not a matter of just hit once and then just stay gone all day. And one thing we have seen, I actually have reached out to support to see if I can get an answer, but we have realized this is not the only change to shields, that you do not get shield after just one attack. We saw that someone posted that comment from. What I'm going to have reached out to support for is how many attacks does it take until you get shields. So with it, that's a whole nother new dynamic. So even here it just says, read that line. Castle auto shields after raids have decreased to 6 hours. What are we going to do? Despero, only 6 hours of sleep. I think you need to talk to Infinity. That might be a little bit too much that you're getting there. Let's take a look at Titan skills, though, from the bubbles. We'll find out more about that. But again, I'll throw this out there. When it comes to bubbles, everyone's like, I only get 6 hours, or it's not showing up after one attack. This is me. You can hear it in all my other videos prior to. If you're worried about keeping a bubble, I think you're in the wrong game. Go to FЛNDRL. These bubbles are meant to be popped. Don't hide behind it. I've said many things about them before. If you're counting on that, I know it's nice. I know it's great. But with these changes, if you collect your resources, you're not losing any from lands. If you make sure you kind of spend and work properly, really plan what your builds will be, then anything will kind of be protected by your reserves. So if you are really, really worried about that bubble, I think you just got to get out there and attack more, right? I mean, it's especially as you kind of work your way up in Legends. I think it's pretty much many of us in Legends really realize Farmville is a Zynga game too. Well, looks like you're just stuck in a cycle. But for many of us that are in Legends, I think we all know that there's many times that you're just sitting at max gold, max food, and you have nothing to do with it. Your builders are full, your spells are upgrading, your troops are upgrading, so it kind of is whatever we can do. Taking a look at Titan skills. Again, this has been a big change. This here is to help prevent the airplane mode. This here is designed to prevent people from engineering going forward. The only part that's really kind of bogus about this is they didn't do anything to reverse that engineering, but there's nothing that you can do. It just kind of is what it is at this point in time. Eventually, things will cycle around. But when we look at Titan skills, they're all predetermined. When we pull in these brand new Titans, they will show us each of the different skills. Again, you can see this live action in Bo's video, so if you're not there, check this out if you're watching this later, because I think everybody in the chat right now has seen it. But really pay attention to that, because it's all about, you can see the skills, but they're not necessarily all unlocked. You'll start to, as you unlock them, they will start to level up. It doesn't seem like any changes have come to actually leveling them up at all. So where a lot of us are still looking for that, when we can actually see a percentage, how do we know our chances for unlocking skills? But I think this is a step in the right direction personally, that they're at least trying to create some balance and not end up with these OP engineered stuff. So that's one thing. Overall, looking at the increased inventory, troops power when accurately displayed. Again, they're adjusting it to, this is, I think, got to be, third, fourth time at least that they've done some point recalculation. Again, so that's something that'll be different. So again, greatly depends on the defensive power for land, so they're making sure that they balance that out, making troop power balanced. One thing we've definitely seen this happening with is Panthers and with Spearmen. We're also seeing changes to the Army Camp troop increase. I love this. I'd love to have more people. Looking at this, your Army Camp can hold more troops. Again, this here will help you be able to defend more lands at levels, so now you've got more troops to put more on your lands, which is nice. I'm waiting to see exactly what these totals will be. I know I'm going to be screenshotting some of my total counts there, because it sounds like we're going to see this upgrade soon. We'll see what goes on. Infinity Spearman topic. I wonder how much they buff them. Yeah, we haven't seen really point, but I know from this video I'm going to really try to get some snaps and do some comparison. Right now I am a Castle 14. I'm working to 14. Up to 15. All of my troops and I think all of my spells now are at 14. I think maybe some of my spells are still 13. But that'll kind of maybe give an idea, and we'll just see what it goes. Bo, you're saying 90%. Oh, that'll be a plus. I love the Spearmen. I kind of forget them on occasion, but I was in a battle and I put my Spearmen up against the Pikes, and my Spearmen came out winners. I think it was a level 14 Spearmen, not buffed. Relics were not buffing them. Titan was not buffing them. And they went up against level 12 Pikes, and they won. I mean, it was a good fight, but in the end, they came out with, I think, probably still about maybe 10 or 15% of their health left, which kind of surprised me. And I was like, I got to use Spearmen more often. They're cheaper, and they've got some power to them. Again, let's take a look. Spell forging, where they're saying spells have increased. Don't know the number yet, but that's a nice plus, that we're just going to see an overall increase in what we can hold. This way we can also add more spells to our lands, increase their power, and generate more of what we're pulling from it. So this is great. Units buffed here. Your Spearman HP is increased. So they're designed to be a heavy unit, but they honestly weren't originally. Now we're looking at the ability to increase HP so they can last a little bit longer. I'm excited about this because, again, I have a tendency to forget Spearmen, but I think they're great. Now, even the militia, I have a tendency to kind of underestimate what they can actually do, even when they're not buffed. Same thing goes for Panthers. We're seeing some HP, we're seeing their damage, we're seeing their armor piercing being increased, which is nice, because they're designed to hit those troops, either flanks or range, but even when they get into the mix of some of these higher level ranged ones, they don't stand a chance. So I'm excited to see this, especially because I do have some Panther relics. I do have some poison boosts on Venom Tusk for it, so I'd like to kind of see that stuff work out. I have a Spearman with 175 armor, and you are God. I will keep that in mind, Infinity, when we take a look and see what we've got going on. But that's the list of their changes, updates that are coming soon. But there's a lot of kind of in between the line stuff that we still have to see. Again, especially even the bubbles. What are these details to these upgrades? And overall, getting a good idea of what we've got happening here. Despero, Talus and anything. Yeah, let's be honest. He's a bit of an OP Titan. Him and all those HBICs that are out there. Valwyn, who's one of the new ones? Vixia, and who's the third? Freya. Man, I don't mess with them. They were even the 3 stars of 40, putting it up to 50, and they're brutal. But I'm gonna do a quick switch over here. Let's see if we can go ahead and get back in a game. I got some Titans to check out. I know I missed out while I was out. They did that power play. Again, if you haven't heard about that, they've boosted those Titans. Looks like I might have missed. We'll check and see. But I've also saved a few things here to actually do on the stream, since I just really haven't shown you guys what I'm working with, give you an idea of what I'm doing. But here we go. I know a lot of people are always talking about specials. I'm seeing different specials rolling all the time. Right now, the special offer I'm getting is a $28.99 down to $4.99. Yeah, Despero. So you're taking down level 50s with a level 28 Talus. I go in against a level 30 with a 40 Karn, and the moment they've got all these Iron Relics on there, Freyas and Valwyns and whatever, they I try not to touch them. That's just my thing. Infinity, you're saying a Talus is going to die a little bit. Is it because you're thinking these boosts, then troop changes, or you think he'll die off because anyone who collects him from here on out is not going to be able to engineer him? True, yeah. So higher levels, more attack time. I'll be honest. I think that's just one thing, kind of throwing out there, and increasing the amount of time it takes to raid with them. I know that's one reason, and I don't know about everybody, but anytime I solo, it takes longer than actually going in with troops. I don't know a lot of people solo, so that way they don't have to use troops and lose any. But when I solo, sometimes it can be over a minute, sometimes even close to 2, depending on how balanced out that fight is. Most of the time when I roll in with troops, I'm done in less than a minute, if not even 30 seconds or less, depending on what I go against. I try not to take on things that are too overly powerful, because when I raid, I just want to get in, get out, and get my raids in, collect everything I can, spend what I need quickly. The longer that I'm raiding, the more available I am to be raided, and the more that I can lose out. Does anyone else consider that when they go into their balance and they're doing solo raids or with troops? That's the only reason why I don't solo. Bo, you use spearmen, archers. Yeah, I know my main setup is usually a couple of meat shields with the Unax. The Ragnars, and I go in with Unax. I've got I think one of the 3-star flame volley that's maxed out, so even on Karn it kind of gets it. So let's kind of get into this. So special, I'm not buying it. I didn't even buy it when I got a 99-cent offer. I'm free to play. It's tempting. I will not say it's not that it's not tempting, but I'm trying to just stick to my grassroots here and just be that player who's free to play and show people what they can do. For anyone who might still watch this, I've gotten some more subscriptions over the time, more people that watch it. I'll give you a history if you haven't seen a whole lot of it. So I've been playing, I think, since the global launch in December. I'm at level 21 player. I'm working my way up to that level 15 castle, so I've got a little bit more to go, still about a day and a few hours. And I max out everything. So when I'm working castle upgrades, I try to max everything. The only thing that I don't max out immediately are my farms and my mines. Everything else gets maxed out before I work into that castle upgrade. And then when I have that food, or when I have that gold that all my other stuff is maybe still costing me more, I'm in a pretty good heated raid battle, then I'll drop that extra coin on mines and farms and knock those out. If I have a hard time building myself back up to that, over 1 million, because once I kind of get over 1 million, I find that I become much harder of a target. So if I've got that one builder left and I'm like, it's raid battle, then that's when I focus on mines and farms. And let me see, right now I think I've got mine up to, they're level 10. I'm only one upgrade behind, so at 15, that'll be 2 upgrades behind, but that's okay, not too bad. We'll see, maybe I might even go ahead and upgrade one now just because I don't have anything else to work on. So we'll get all that coin. Let's get some food. Although I got nothing to spend it on. Let me see if my spell still has 3 hours. So let's see, here I am. 2 spells, Shield, Freeze, which are my 2 main users. They've been bumped to 14, so they're just waiting until that 15 upgrade is all done. The Fireball, upgrading right now to 14, so all I have left to upgrade to 14 is Terror and Lightning, which Lightning I think I'm going to be using a little bit more, because everybody has avoided Lightning, but a good Strength Lightning can take out a Ragnar, or if you get them in a pool, this is what I love with my Karn, all those little Ragnars get in a little group around him, and a single lightning bolt can decrease a whole group of them, cut their health down pretty low. So let's see. I'm going to do a quick comment check. Phrases are overpowered. Certainly. Emmanuel there. They said they want to prioritize defending more on the stream, which is great. This has been very just power attack, but thinking more balance between offense, defense is nice. Yeah, time to build your castle now. I know a lot of people, and I guess maybe I don't really understand, but I've always upgraded my castle. I never hit a point and said I don't want to upgrade any further. I've kind of always been pushing. I'm happy I've been doing that because now my troops have all been boosted. I've been able to boost them up higher, so I'll be able to drain resources from my lands a little bit quicker. So I see that as an advantage to definitely staying on top of building up that castle. But the one suggestion I always make is if you are building the castle, upgrade every single building you possibly can and your troops and your spells prior to pushing that castle going. So that's my one thing I've always kind of gone by. Armory, this is again waiting for that 15. I've got no one left to really upgrade besides Panthers, but that's new because I actually just finished upgrading my Panthers. They've been one I had ignored them, so I stayed an upgrade behind, but recently I started boosting them up once I got Venom Tusk. Let's see, do I still... Nope, so they're all set up, so now all I have to do is that Panther. We'll see if we can get some food going and get that Panther upgrading for the stream. 1.3, I might be able to get that while we're here. Other than that, let's see, we've got a temple to pull. Chance for a 2-star. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. I had some really good luck. We're getting some 3-stars from this. Let's see what we have. Not the relic I want that I pulled from here. I'm not sure if you guys are fully caught up on the video as well too. But I got a 3-star Bitter Dirks. I've got several of these. This will eventually turn into food. I'm actually running out of 1-stars and 2-star relics to use, so I'm getting ready to start moving on to 3-stars for all of my fusion or forging for it. So we've got that going on. We'll see. Also, I'll go ahead and show you a bit of my hoarding. This has always been a little bit of a talk on band recently, especially following the most recent soul event, how the race was able to boost the souls that you earn. I'm looking forward to more events like that because fortunately I have an obsession with collecting titans. I think that's actually probably my favorite part of this game. The attacks, the raids. Honestly, for me, I'm not in a rush to get anywhere. This is a game I probably will be playing for a bit. It's the only game that I really kind of get into, so I've got nothing else taking me away from it, but I'm not in a rush to get 1 Titan or 2 Titans all the way up to max. Especially now looking at lands, I'm happy I've collected my Titans, whether it be 1-stars, 2-stars, but this is the part that I actually really enjoy the game. It's just a detail that I don't know if many people go into this too, but I'll show you my collection, what I've gotten recently. I never really finish an event, so I don't always collect everyone, but I like to collect the small Titans throughout there too. I don't always fuse them or forge them into other Titans, so Karn, my main attacker, I'd be interested, let's see, before we even go into it, and do some fusion on him. He's still 40 out of 40, so he does not have the ability to push up yet, so I missed out on it, Karn, but we'll see what goes on. His skills are pretty basic. I love him though for going against the all Goliath defenses. He really doesn't get put down. He's got the double resist against Earth, so ever since that stuff came out, that Titan critical is really nice. He can put stuff down pretty well. Still need to get that 4-star now. Start that 4th skill. The reason why he got leveled up is before I really learned anything about the whole skill unlocking, before I learned about the relic and the fusion, and before I was even on any of these chats and learning about it, it was just me figuring this stuff out. So he did level up because I got him pretty early on. I think I got him when I was only like a level 3 player. I happened to get him from a drop, really fortunate, so he became my main Titan because he was the only 3-star amongst the 1-stars I had, so he leveled up. So I'm happy that I'm going to get these 10 extra levels to play with and still work on unlocking that skill without losing that value behind the XP that goes into it. But he certainly is my favorite. These Ragnars with the beards are my favorite Titans. And then relic-wise, I do have the level 10 3-star Great Maul, so he's doing extra damage to Goliaths, to Pikes, and has a boost in armor, which I like. I throw a Backbiter on him, so even additional damage to Goliaths, an extra armor piercing, and 22% against Grenadiers. So he'll go in there and he goes golfing with Grenadiers. And then I throw on that Flame Volley because I like my Unax. They put out some pretty good damage, so I've got that maxed out 3-star. I do have a 4-star Flame Volley, I think. Let's see. My crazy... No 4-star Flame Volley, so 3-star is the best. But that one's maxed out and working well for me so far. But Titan-wise, taking a look at what we have, only 4-star I have is a Venom Tusk. But again, I'm going to be sad to see this style go, guys. Bo, you're taking your Kobar to level 30. You know, I got a couple 2-stars that I'm even excited to push up. I'm even excited about the new Berserker Ragnar that's a 1-star that I could turn into a 2-star. I'm actually really kind of excited about this. I think that kind of gives people even more of an advantage to keep 2-stars and to keep the 1-stars. Sorry, I'm saying push them up in stars. You can't change your stars, but I'm excited to push them up in level. That, you know, instead of stopping at a level 20, now they can go to a level 30. So that'll be kind of exciting. Venom Tusk here, though. I'm going to miss his design. He looks like he kind of got bleached out in the new one. So this is not the new. This is existing. I noticed that even on Flamehide, they took away some of like the flame from the axe. I'm going to miss this green glowing poison. Even his glowing mohawk. If that's kind of gone, honestly, I don't know if I'll even keep him. He's a great 4-star. He's got the poison. I get that, but general design, if it just doesn't look cool, I'm kind of not that interested. I guess maybe that's just my perspective. Like he's the smallest of the piggies, so maybe I might end up replacing him. So he's that 4-star. Skill-wise, what do we got going on? Resist against poison, extra poison damage, resist against physical. He's okay. Venom Tusk went to the gym and the dentist. If he went to the gym, he must have sat in a sauna or something, because I think the new one looks a little bleached out, doesn't he? From what they showed, screenshots, stuff like that. He's kind of white, but I'm gonna be missing this green glow poison. The Flamehide, even I think he used to have a flaming axe, but it looks like in the battles they do that flame axe is gone. But it is what it is. I'm excited to see if any of these other ones get changes to it. It looks like the most significant changes are to the piggies, but I've got my Cory I'm working on. I have too much chlorine in the pool. Yeah, nice, Bo. Yeah. Looks like all the fat that's on the bacon. He's not even the good part of the bacon. He's nothing but the white fatty part. So Coria, I've got lots of work to do on her. I like her. Of course, she'll offer some boosts here to the Pikes. I'm not thrilled because on my main account here, it's specific Pike against Titans. I did both of these on the same day, pull on this one and on my mini, which is also free to play. And I got just general pikeman damage. I'm really kind of disappointed by that because I would have preferred that one on this account, but what are you going to do? But looking at this, so I've got Duret. I've got a segment that's going to be food. Hey, what's up, Sidolphus? Hope I got that right, but thanks for joining. There's my level 40 Karn. I've got Kazud. I've got Cormac, Tyrius, Valwyn, and that's wrapping up my 3-stars. So what I like about this collection I've got going on is I have a 4-star Mossman Titan here, the Poison Titan, right? Because he's a piggy, but what, if you don't pay attention a lot to these piggies when you're looking at them, is even though he's a champion, his damage is poison, so that puts him into that kind of category working with the Mossman style Titans. And then you've got Snowgore, who falls into Lethan. You've got Flamehide, who that falls into the Unax, even though they're all piggies. The only thing we're still waiting on is Agray's Stone Snout, which should be the piggy Ragnar. I'm hoping for that one day, because that would be one I would definitely want. But then I've got an Alethan 3-star. I have an Unak 3-star. I've got my Ragnar 3-star. Another Unak. I've got a human 3-star, 2 of them with Valwyn, and another Alethan level 15 Tyrius, who's a champion. So I like this. I've got an Infiltrator. I've got a couple champions. I've got some Guardians and Paladins. So most of them are champions between the Piggy, the Durats, the Tyrius. So I've got a champion in just about every single class. So if they ever do another boost for souls, I've got my bases covered. They're not all as strong, but as you can see from this, I don't invest every single thing into just one Titan. I slowly work at one when I get bored with playing with one. Lately, I've been throwing Durat in more because I just love his look. I wouldn't mind seeing him stay. I hope he doesn't change too much. But I really do like his overall design. I know if you look at the new Flamehide, you see a little bit more of that same mask here. That's on Durat's stomach. You actually see a little bit more of that even on Flamehide's shoulders as well. So they've certainly kind of tied that design in quite a bit more. But I hope a lot of this whole like flaming axe, flaming eyes, and things like that don't really change, because that's what I love about him. He is pretty BA looking. But I think this is what I'm happy about. I think everyone should really consider keeping quite a few more Titans and not just powering into one defense, one offense, because now you can get these boosts to souls and everything like that. Below that, I'll give you some stack through my 2-stars. I've got an Athika, a Dalkar with an extra food. A couple of those actually I was working on before I even started building up my 3-stars. So more of these will probably be food now. I've got a couple of Halsteads that will be food. That level 30, I'm actually excited to push him up to a 40. Same thing with that level 29. Now that he's almost a 30, I'm excited to push him up to 40. We go and the Katash always turns into food because it just is not a cool looking Titan. That's just what it is, so I'll get rid of him. Looking at that, Kelwyn. This is actually one of the new Titans. I'll give her a little quick spotlight. One of the new Titans, which I was a little disappointed that they didn't use these. They gave this quick pull weekend. I got a couple of those brand new ones. I think there were 8 Titans in total. I've pulled up the list. We'll see if I can get it in. But Kelwyn was one of them. I only got 2 stars, and I'm really not that disappointed by it because they're new. So this is kind of like a... what Caesar? Where is Caesar at? I could use... What on earth is his Titan's name? We've got the 4-star archer human. We've got a 3-star archer human that's also new, a ranger. And now this one. So it's kind of like an older brother, younger brother, little sister. I dig her look. I dig her bow. She's got some skills there with the bow staff. But overall, she's got a pretty nice archer boost to it. So turning her into a level 30. Talon, thank you, Bo. We've got Talon. But looking... And Baron, thank you, Sidolphus. So looking at her skills, she's archer damage. We've got spearmen. So again, these archer, I'm really excited because I don't use them enough. I really don't play a lot with these rangers, so I'm excited about playing with that a bit. Spearmen, the boost that they're getting in HP, I can see myself using them quite a bit more now, so I'm excited about getting a chance to play with these rangers a bit more. She's the highest level or star ranger that I have, so I'm looking forward to kind of playing with that a bit, and you can see I've thrown a few extra archer relics on her. And then kind of wrapping this up, we've got some Kulgars. They'll turn into food. Lako again, I've got a couple of them in there, but I'm excited that my highest level one here, as I've been using the other ones for food. Lako offers some of that Panther boosts, damage, and armor, so the fact that their HP is going up and their damage, I could see Lako becoming more valuable in my offense strategy. And again, I keep all these just because honestly, I just kind of love playing around. I love getting with a bit of the mix. I feel playing with one Titan just for me becomes boring. So that's why I've kept, honestly, I'm not even done. You can see going through. We've got Malix. He was one of the new 8, I think, as well. Either that or he was an event. Let's take a quick look. I'm going to exit out of here and see. Where is that chat? Special offer. Look at, $4.99 down to $2.99. Same one, 90% off. Last one is 80% off. I'm seeing myself getting a couple of these extra special offers. And they're pretty much the same. I think the only difference is the gems that go into it. I didn't pay. We could rewind and take a look at the other one. But let's take a look at that chat. And the difference here, that was the gem one. My Titan conversation went away. Well, son of a... I'll leave it there. That's okay. Let's get back to Titans. But Malix, again, one of these newer ones. I've just kept them around, not playing with them. Nalos and Nestus, I will always keep these guys because I don't see them in drops, and these were two event Titans. I like to call these just the cold-hearted twins. I know Mathi in here, so that's a Paladin. Runa I kept around because she boosts lands pretty nicely. I got a couple of the new Ragnars that are out there. Skane and Skarg, which I haven't really tampered with a whole lot. Skarg I've been throwing out there a bit just because of what he offers as far as his skill goes. Oh no, I don't want to recall him yet. But skill-wise, he offers Goliath health. So I like that. 32% at a level 8, so I'll keep playing with him. Skane for the skill that I got on him being a Guardian. Goliath's resist against lightning, which I find as a perk for Goliaths because, again, we know that these Ragnars are prone to lightning. So when I go up against Ragnars, I know I drop a lightning in there. You'll notice that when you play, you usually get a couple lightning drops because that is a Goliath's weakness. So getting that resistance can actually help prevent anyone that might be picking up lightning spells during the battle. I'll keep it. I actually like it. I don't think that's a bad skill, personally, for him being a Ragnar, as well as Goliath's, of course, being part of that boost that he goes through. Thond and Toran, a couple extra of these Ragnar ones. This Paladin here offering resistance against ice, resistance against poison. Again, even being 30, when I can boost his level up to 40, I can see him becoming a bit more valuable. Toran as another one. Let's see what he's got for his skill. Against physical, resist against lightning twice. That's okay. I'll keep him around just because he's one of these special event Titans. And then I've just got some recent food I've collected. 1 stars, I doubt I'll worry about leveling them up from a 20 to a 30. The only one that I'm actually considering doing that with, because Aldwin will be food, Alena will be food, Elnoth you'll be food, Argax you'll be food, Astrid you'll be food. But my Cyros, I'm actually excited about pushing him up to a level 30 because he offers some pikeman boosts for his skills. So 30% armor piercing, 40% damage. I'm excited about pushing him up just because then he'll be more valuable possibly for defense or even maybe even battle. So I'll stick with keeping him around. And the only other 1 star that I will keep, which is one of the newer ones, is Garn, who is the new female Ragnar. So skill-wise, she's got Titan, resist against lightning. Everyone's thinking, eventually these mages can come back in. I'll throw this out. I don't think we're going to see mages for a little bit. I know that Dev's been saying they're working on a new class, but if you think about that, mages are not a new class. They were already there existing. I think we might see something different. I wouldn't mind seeing mages, but I think the fact that they're saying a new class and the mages have existed before, I don't know if we're going to see them. But I'll keep her just because she's an all-new Titan. She's a 1 star, so that means typically you're probably not going to see her a whole lot because, drops that people are getting are 2 stars, 3 stars, whatever it be. Infinity, a lot of people are going to level their castles, so there's going to be more Skolnar castles. I think agreed. And Infinity, I'm there in the Legend League with you. I hope I cross paths with you. Not that I can probably compete with you. I don't know exactly what. I don't think you're maxed out castle yet from what you said in some chats. I'm not going to call you out, but I know you've got some great Titans. I'm excited to go up against you one time. I've been in Legend now for, 3-4 seasons. And I had an opportunity to go. We've seen some NT in there. I've seen some Quantum in there. I've seen a few people. So I'm excited to come across you, hopefully in one of the seasons soon. Maybe next one. But Garn, she's different. I'll keep her. She's someone new, different spotlight. 17 now. Okay, cool. So I'm not that far from you, but depends on the Titan that you got. And then the rest of this is food. Jarn, again, this is one that I might push up. I wish I could. I don't think pushing up level will do anything to stars, right? I think they're kind of giving us this uh, kind of boost to the levels, but not necessarily calling it ascension, right? But Jarn here, I also like him because he does offer boost to Goliath. So Goliath critical, Goliath resist. I could see Jarn here going onto a land because he will boost the Goliaths, which I hope then boosts the resources I can collect from it. So even some of these 1 stars, 2 stars, I think become quite a bit more valuable with some of these changes that they've done in the game. But here's my crazy collection. I've got some fusing to do. Here's some food. Oh, here's a Tarn. That's one I'll hang on to because then he's a bit of a, even though he's a 1 star, he's quote unquote rare because he's more event based. And then just more and more food. So I've got some fusing to do, but now that I know that power play will be coming back because I missed out its first roll, I'm definitely going to be hanging on to this. I probably won't be doing any Titan fusion right now, but I think that even these 1 stars, these 2 stars that people can ignore, if they offer some really good skills, I think that can change the dynamic of how you put them on lands. You don't, even though 4 stars always offer more, that if you don't have stacks and stacks of 4 stars like me, I've got 1 4 star and I've got a good handful of 3 stars, that if you're not a person who has loads of these 4 stars, you're not winning Legend League or Master League every single season, then 2 stars and 1 stars certainly become valuable with the increase in level and the skills that they can offer. So my advice to you, if you're watching this now, watching it later, don't throw Titans away. Start really paying attention to even your 1 star, 2 star skills. It could pay off in the long run. But let's also talk relics. I just like to put this out there. Again, I'm a crazy collector. I've got loads now that I collected that 3 star. I'm at 201, so I got to get rid of 1. But even my treasure room is just loaded. I still have an event token I've got to collect. I've got the 50 portal stones from last. Those are going to be gone soon. So I've got a few hours to start getting that. Mladen Damazet Loso, something like that. Who knows when they're going to release the update? I know they're saying soon. I don't think we've gotten a specific day. A lot of people seem that to be maybe rolling towards Monday, maybe when the new season starts. But I don't think there's an official hard release date for it yet that anybody's heard. Even some people with the inside scoop are just, it's soon, and that's what we've got. But here we go, relic, list, and list, and list, and list. I've got some relic forging to do. I've also got to collect some of these because I never know. I wish you could see. That's the one thing I wish they would do for the treasure room. At least show you the stars, what they are worth. Because, 1 stars, I'll throw them into some 2 stars so that way I can love the 2 stars, throw those towards the 3 star. But like these dragon helms, I'd like to know if I've got any 4 star dragon helms in here that I could throw towards my already existing 4 star dragon helm. But I basically have like 2 relic rooms going on. If you can't quite tell, I'm scrolling and scrolling. I don't know if there's a limit to the treasure room, but I feel like there's ever a player who's going to hit it, it's going to be me, guys. I don't think my treasure room is really ever empty, especially now that I'm not pulling in a lot of 2 stars. I'm pulling in so many 3 stars now, but I'm hesitant to throwing 3 stars into my relics because I haven't maxed out what the 2 stars can do to them yet. And that's how I like to do it. I like to put my 1 stars in until it stops blinking. Put my 2 stars in until it stops blinking. Put my 3 stars in until it stops blinking. I haven't really reached that point where the 2 stars have stopped the blinking. So I'm not ready to start throwing a bunch of 3 stars in, especially with the fusion forging success. I don't have the best of luck. Maybe we'll do a little bit here now. You also can see, yet again, crazy stacking. I have hoarded these elixirs. My prediction didn't pan out. We didn't see any defensive ones come out quite yet. I am waiting for the next Trials of Power style event, so that way maybe I've got a few extra that I'll finally use by then. But I collected them, and I just decided to hang on to them. I certainly got to use them because I could clear up some room. But let's do a quick little fusion. Let's see if we've got any luck. Let's do... What do we want to do, guys? Should we do a Dragon Helm? Should we do a Great Plague? Let's see if we can get any luck with one of these 4 stars. Got a few of them in here. So that cuts off. Got the Volcano Vein, Thornbow, Mount Armor, the Kite Shield. which this is one I've kind of clearly ignored, but, well, there's a few of them, but I didn't even bother equipping this. But Spearman, I'll be extra boost to the health. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and forge this, and we're going to just see what we can get out of a 1-star. Vambrace. Have I got anything else I can just throw in there? 1% chance. Let's do it. Failed. Not surprised. That's all right. We could probably actually throw a little bit more. Let's work this. Oh, I know. I don't want to sacrifice it. So let's see. 4-star Dragon Helm. Let's forge this one. What we got going on? Have I got any 2-stars to offer? If not, I guess I'll throw maybe a couple 3-stars at it. I've got a spare Deadwood Shield. I can go ahead and drop that in there. I need to put that Fire Warp into the other one. Haven't done that yet. I know I find that I kind of get better luck when I do similar relics if I can. Let's see. Do I have another Dragon Helm anywhere besides my 3-stars? And I'm not quite ready to give up on those yet. Let's throw a few. Here we go. We got some Stone Mallets. And now we're into those 3-stars. See, but I'm still getting blinking out of these. So we'll leave it at 3. 9% chance. Let's roll the dice, right? This is Zynga. And a 9% chance is going to get us nothing. Well, that's all right. Open up some Maroon. And this is what I like to do. So I've got 3 spots, right? Let's go ahead and collect some relics. I'm not ready for those stones yet. Did I pull in any 1-stars? I got a couple of 1-stars in there. Let's throw some of these 1-stars. Oh, let's go ahead and do the Dragon Helm again. Just kind of decide what I want to do. And I just feel like messing with this 4-star. Let's go ahead and forge that Dragon Helm. Let's see if we can get some 1-stars, Scimitar, and Vambrace to do anything. At a whole whopping 3% increase with it. Roll the dice. Failed. Whatever. That's okay. We'll just keep... This is literally just kind of how we end up burning through. But you know what? Now let's switch it up. I'm going to go ahead and just do a little bit of gameplay. Why not? Let me collect the last couple of these. Because I like to make sure that any new relics I happen to collect always go towards the end. Back up at 200. Sounds good. Let's do some raids. I'm getting attacked as we speak. The Star Alliance, which of course is always fun when someone tries to recruit you and you say no, and then they just end up attacking you. Let's see, we got level 50. What have we got for skills? Looks like you probably got some health boosts, resist. I know iron resist physical. Those skills might be more of those. I forget what those shields are going to be. I think those are a bit more resist physical, things like that, right? Little health. But hey, let's give this a shot. Let's go up against Thorg. He's not what I typically hit. I usually like to guarantee that I'm going to win. I don't like to just spend my time raiding, but let's see what he could do. We're going to throw my Karn up against him. Level 50 versus level 40. I'm boosting those Grens, so let's throw a couple of those in there. Throwing a Panther if I got to distract them in the end. And let's pull one more off and put a couple Goliaths on there. It's pulling a Lightning. A couple Freeze and a Shield. Throw a couple extra Goliaths in there. So I'm taking 33,773 up against 86,414. Let's see what we get. Didn't look like he was boosting pikemen at all, and normally those boost pikes are something I'll stay away from. But that's another thing. Hey, let's throw, right? Pikes are no longer pikes, guys. They're imps. We've got Imperials. But when I say imps, I'm thinking Lord of the Rings and these ugly kind of things that actually look more like the Ragnars. But now we have Imperials. Theory, conspiracy style. Does that mean that the pike needs to be used for a different kind of troop, so they took it away now and we'll see it come out later with a different style of class and race? There's got to be some reason why they decided to stop calling them pikemen. But we'll see. All right, level 50, there you are. Let's pull you all over. All surrounding. Keep Karn pulled in there for a moment. Keep that Panther out. Let's do it to it. So I'm curious, like, what do you guys find is your biggest weakness on the battlefield? Mine with Karn does happen to be more of the ice. Wow, a couple of hits and not even a single budge in his health. I don't see him going down before my Titan goes down. But you know what? I'm going to take Karn out and make him focus on some of these other troops. Knock them out, and we can come back and worry about Thorg in the end. There you go. Keep walking. Keep walking. I don't think this is going to go well for me. Oh, that Thorg isn't even getting touched, guys. That's alright. It was fun while it lasted. Those pikes are about to take everything down, and that Thorg isn't even moving. So good relics he's got on him. I kind of knew I was losing this one going into it, let's just be honest. Let's see if I can use this Panther at all. Come on, get moving. Get moving. Get on it. Let's see if I can save some of you. Panther goes right into the mix. Thanks. Appreciate that. You're useless. But we're going to ride it to the end, guys. We're going to do this. Every single one of these meteor strikes. Nice try. Nice try. I set you up for failure. That's all right. Let's see. We've got some food to collect. Let's see if we can find some good farms. Just going on some raids. $50K. I don't want my neutral lands. Don't bring me there. I'd like to find something a little bit higher than 50. But it looks like that's... I'm not going to waste too much time on my shields down. So 56, 30 defense. I can put that one down pretty quick. Let's go ahead and just nail on some of these wins, guys. Goliaths. I'll throw in... What are we going up here? Meat shields. Pikes. Panthers. Goliaths. So I'm going to stick with my Grenadiers here. I think that'll do it. So let me ask you, so anyone that's still watching here, we got 10 of you guys on here, what is your auto load? Like, this will be pretty close to what my auto loadout would be, but I've got a feeling this will be changing. I'm going to be throwing more pikes, spearmen into it now. Probably be using my Panthers on occasion. I wonder if that auto loadout going to be depending on your Titan, or is it always going to be like the moment you go into battle, same Titan, same troops that load up, or will it deck out based on the Titan you actually even choose for that battle? Will it be like choose a Titan and then the troops will change? I wonder what that variance is going to be. I'm actually going to shift everyone here to the left because that's where that infiltrator is going to come from. Let's see, Bowyer. 2 spearmen, 6 or 7 archers, and a panther optional. I like the optional panther myself. I like to throw it in there for those spells just in case. Maybe do a little bit distract and destroy if you have to. So those can start out there. But I'm going to need 1 or 2. Start out with that panther. Meat shields. All right, let's start taking out some pikes. Shit. I hate meteor strikes. Never ends well for me. Bye, Unix. Oh, tell me those are all going to miss. Nice. Can't win for Fortune for anything, but totally missed every single one of those meteor attacks on my Unax. That's never happened. And this is when it's also useless. You get a fireball against Ragnar's, which does absolutely nothing. That's alright. Relic is full. That's just fine. You can go there. I will collect you in 6 days when I drain through all the other relics that are there. Everybody's good. Let's get some more food. Oh, how far am I off from collecting my own food? What do I need to get to upgrade them Panthers? $1.3. Exactly how much am I off? I am off 128,000. Okay, we can do that. Stick with me, guys. I'm going to go out there and get 128,000 food. We're going to upgrade some Panthers. I've got some more just general grinding to go through and do. Who's attacking me now? Gideon's few. What do we got? You are really not worth the food, but I cannot let you go unrevenged. Let's just throw a quick mix in there. I gotta kill off a couple people though. Archers. Sacrifice. No sacrifice, no glory. Travel, if you read up, you can see Bo and many of us know that there is no release date yet. We do not have a hard date for when that update is coming, but we know it is soon. So you got to just basically stay tuned and see what's going to be going on with it. I was getting a little tired here. Let's throw a little music in the background. A little Diane Wood in the background here. Some nice Zeph style. Yeah, Trouble, you got to stay tuned on everyone's channel. You never know when that news might drop. We're all hungry for it. If there's someone I'd pay attention to for that drop, man, pay attention to Bo and Zalan. They've got the freshest news that comes out when it comes to DOT. Better than the devs. Oh, let's talk. Sad news today in DOT. We're losing the FLNDRL. Hands down, favorite dev when it comes to interaction. I mean, I love Ben. I do love Matt. They're really good. They seem like a really good bunch and all that. But Fran brought some totally different energy into what the live stream had. They say that she's moving on to some new projects. Of course, we all probably are interested in kind of knowing what that is all about. I mean, I hope she's all good at the best of everything she does, but I will certainly miss her on our DOT live streams every Thursday because she brought really good energy with it. Definitely miss it. Good energy. I loved her intros. Bo, it was great that you had a chance to actually get her on that stream when you did. Unfortunately, I guess that's going to be a bit different. You know, maybe one day you can actually get Ben or Matt on your stream. Ben, if you can. But working with it, we got Dom out there too, so we still have the 3 devs, but it was also kind of nice to get that female mix into it. Always cool to see a female gamer as well. I wonder if she will still play Dawn of Titans. And it'd be nice to kind of know if she'll at least still be out there in the community, if she's just maybe switching from Dawn of Titans, maybe working for something else, Natural Motion, or what that next project will be. Be great to see if she's actually even just still plays the game. Maybe I might have to work on seeing if I can at least get her recruited in my alliance. See who can get her with us first if she still plays. All right, 1.22. Just got a little bit more to go. Let's see if we can push a little more food. Since you hit me, let's see what your food here. Has that gone down? Still 56? Well, I'll hit you one more time. That'll give me what I need. You hit me once. I hit you once before. I'll hit you some more times right now. My archers didn't die in that battle like I kind of wanted them to be sacrificed. Just throw a little bit of everything in it, but it's just... Get it done quick as you can, right? I mean, soloing, honestly, probably could even with Karn come in here and do it with a couple of spells, just a single troop, because the moment I freeze his infiltrator, it's pretty good. I'm going the same setup. Now, see, this will be what's different is, you know, if he was smart come the new update, what he will do is change his defenses when he sees me maybe attacking him a couple of times. I'm not going to send Karn into the pikes because they probably ought to be gone by the time it even gets there. I love these moments of the battle, right? When just, you know, just taken care of for you. Don't have a whole lot to do. Can I get lucky? 2 for 2 on avoiding that meteor strike. Ah, so close. No, that's not bad. Those losses aren't bad. Could have been worse. Could hit every single one of them, and for me, it always feels like my luck is that meteor strike goes beyond its perimeter. You guys ever see that? A few other people comment. I actually asked the dev support about it, and they asked for some screenshots, but it's kind of hard to get those mid-battle without just stopping to pay attention. So here we go, right? Got a nice lightning in battle. Let's go ahead and just drop that, and it will hit both of them while they're in that little mix. I think lightning is a bit underrated. Even the wrists, when they're boosted here, the resist for those Goliaths when your Titan can give you. I like to use lightning on anyone's Goliaths when they come up in the battle. So protect yourself against me. I'm sure there'll be more of me coming. $1.28. So close. Are you hitting me again? Oh, well, you're losing twice to it. That's just fine. What are you using to attack if you lost against it twice? I don't want to show you any mercy, but I just don't want to hit you again. Here we go. Okay, level 40 was this Freya, right? No, this is Valwyn. Okay. Couple iron, couple 10. Yeah, I'm not touching that. The troops are not bad. I'm not worried about those troops really at all. But I just know she's a bad bitch. Let's see what we got here. Some VP lands. Anything worth. I'm not even worried about the VP right now. I just want. I can pretty much get that food from any land, but let's at least try and find something that offers somewhat of good VP to go with it. 65,000, 15. Yeah, why not? I'll go against it. This is a pretty sad battle, but guess what? It's a guaranteed win. Get that food so I can spend it. What I usually like to do is make sure I get my food. Get it spent, and I'll be good. My gold, I really don't have a whole lot else to upgrade other than those mines and farms, so I'll probably drop that gold on one of those before I head out of the game and, close that up. That way, I have nothing to lose when I'm out. That's just me. Number one suggestion is whatever you can spend it on before you get out of the game, you should be doing so. Don't let anything sit too much if you have something to spend it on. There's always more to get. I think what people have got to really do is that this game truly is more of a slow grind. If you try to rush to the top, there's always something that's going to end up kind of catching you and biting you towards the end a little bit. Let's see if we get bring in the Raise the Dead. And they died. Okay, so we didn't have to worry about the glitch this time. I know a lot of people have seen glitches where those Raise the Dead troops, they do not die. They kind of go down to like very low health and they just never really go away. If you run the timer out, I've seen people post that they say that they end up... what the heck's the word I'm looking for here? They surrender, right? They retreat. And if you just ride the timer out, I know it's a kill in time. It kind of goes against me not wanting to take my time with it, but don't surrender those attacks when those Raise the Dead troops won't die. If you reach the end of your timer, which sometimes it stinks to have to sit there and kind of burn it out, what I usually do is just make that Titan dance around, whatever it can be, just make your troops avoid them, because unfortunately they can still hurt you, but you can't hurt them. If you just stay away from them, the timer runs out, you still get the victory. It's a bug. It looks like they're not going to die. It looks like you're going to lose. Ride it through to the end. You get the victory out of it. I'm going to heal that 1-5 Goliath. He'll be good to go. I got enough food to go ahead and up those Panthers, and hopefully by the time, that means that those Panthers will be upped by the time my castle is done, but let's see what that time frame is on it. No, I do not want your $2.99 deal. Panthers take 3 days. Nope, so they'll be done after my castle, but let's go ahead and up them. Food spent. I really don't have a whole lot to spend coin on. I think I've got some spells I can replenish. And I'm not stocking a lot of freeze. I've got to spend some of these. What I got? I got a whole ton of terrors. I got quite a few of these I can go ahead and get rid of or save to put on my lands. And they're all level 14, so we'll just see how that kind of works. I want, certain spells that help boost those lands when that land comes around. So I hang tight. But there you go, guys. You got to see a little bit of my rating. Using my main Titan. That's my man Karn. Going in there, just doing some upgrades. You've gotten to see the lay of my lands. Everything's upgraded, pushing that towards Castle 15. We've done a real nice run through of everything that's coming up with some of those updates. I've been running for about an hour and 40 minutes. Normally don't really run videos this long, so you stuck with me. Appreciate it. I'll be tapping out here. I'll probably be burning out the rest of my portal stones in the end. And, if you watch this and I got you in here, let's see. Wolfpack, collect as, the Hobbit, L9, Pound 9, whichever way you're looking at that. I'm usually using that as whatever it might be. Slovakia, Jotunheim, again, another Hobbit. So, if you're in any of these guys here kind of floating around, hey, hit me up this season. If not, I'm looking to seeing some more people kind of go through there. Right now, we as an alliance, we're sitting at 22. We're taking it chill. We're kind of working our way through. As of right now, we are at about 22 out of 50 members. We are pretty casual alliance if you haven't really tapped into a whole lot. We like to get competitive. There are times where we turn up a grind. On average, we'll hit somewhere around 300K for some of these top players here for a season. But we're in the process of doing some merging. So I'll hopefully come to you soon with some nice new arrangement for alliances. The Asgard Alliance is growing, really working with some great unique combinations here. Hopefully we'll have more of that to kind of share out there. But again, if you're a casual player, but you like to get social, you like to work with a strategy with each other, we don't have any VP hard Rex. The only thing that I cut for are zeros at the end of a season, so as long as you're contributing something, and that when we are ready to really kind of turn up that grind, that you're ready to do so. Right now we've actually been targeting some of these mid-ranks to avoid kind of going into too big of a league at the time, because we all need a little bit of food for fusion, for forging. We'll probably try to boost up a little bit, see if we can even get in that gem range by the end of the season. That's less than a mil. It's about 800,000. We could probably close that gap by end of season. And that's kind of usually where we sit. We're not crazy obsessive about those 3 stars, 4 stars, because as you collect them, unless you're winning those every single season, it takes a while to level that stuff up. So we're slow, steady, grind when needed, casual players, in it more for the overall gameplay, not just this power pack to the top. It's if you're not one of those just overall global leaders, it's hard to compete anyways when you're very casual. I don't think anyone in our team really puts in a lot of money every season. So if that's the kind of gameplay you're looking for, feel free to hit me up. You can always comment down below. I'd appreciate any likes, subscribes, shares. You can hit me up online. I also run a DOT kind of overall chat there. We've got a lot of different players from all different places, all talking about the game. You can hit me up online. My ID is DOT FLNDRL. And you can also, I think you guys should check out Non-Toxic. I'm there on band with them. Always plenty to learn there, so always reach out. Bo, Zalan, a lot of different players that are out there. Check out Moments' stream, DBR. Band is a great place to really pull up a lot of contents going on. I will finish this stream with dedicating it to the Frandroid. Fran, you'll be missed in the DOT community. We all liked your style. Looking forward to seeing what comes next for DOT. So, guys, I will probably see you next time after the stream. And at that point in time, after the update, I probably won't stream. I'll probably do a little bit more of a tweaked video, so that way we can really run down, break everything down really slowly for you guys. So stay tuned for a video that will be coming out whenever that update comes out. I don't drop them immediately. I like to really kind of play for it for a couple of days. So after that releases out, stay tuned for a couple extra days. After that, I will give you what I can on my thorough rundown, breakdown, expectations, and anticipations for what might come next. But this is FLNDRL. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I will catch you all later.